After 6 long months of waiting, fans of The Walking Dead finally get to see what happens to Rick's group after they were captured by the Saviors and brought to kneel before Negan. Welcome. This is gonna be, by the way, guys, this is gonna be like probably a special occasion. I'm not usually gonna do videos where I just review one specific episode, but this one, everyone's talking about it. It was pretty major, and I kind of like the show. Like, I'm on and off with it, but with that season 6 finale, I didn't really watch the episode at first, but hearing about it and then seeing that Comic Con trailer while I was at Comic Con and I see it, I'm like, oh. So I decided, why not? I got myself all caught up, and then on Sunday, just a few days ago, I saw the season 7 premiere of AMC's The Walking Dead, where Negan, by the way, yeah, he beats not one, but two of the people to death. By the way, I mean, this should be self-explanatory, but this video is going to have some spoilers. So I'd click out right now, or just don't click on the video until you've seen the episode. So, I'm going to talk about what happens in the episode, what I think is. Now, I've heard some complaints about this where the episode, like, people are mad at the people, like, for a number of reasons. Saying, oh, it's gone too violent. Oh, they went too far. Oh, they're just milking it out so that we'll have to stay and wait an extra 20 minutes until we actually see it. Because it starts out with that sneak peek that they released like a week ago, where it shows the aftermath. You see Rick with blood on his side, and Negan was talking about Right Hand Man. It starts with that. You see him drag him to the RV, and then it just cuts to the credits. You have to wait for a commercial. Then it shows Negan driving the RV to a place with Rick in it, and he's making jokes about him and shit like that. And then it starts showing, like, memories and flashbacks of all the characters lined up except himself. About, now people were complaining about it. They're like, just get to it already. That should be the first thing. I thought it was alright. It's gonna be like in memoriam for whoever they killed. Or whoever they killed, So I was alright with that. And then once they get there, he throws his axe out there because he was making a speech how whatever is his, like whatever is theirs, is his now. Like in the previous episode, he did that big speech. And so he throws Rick's axe out there, and he's like, or hatchet or whatever, and he's like, get me my axe. And so he throws Rick out there into like the horde of zombies, and he has to try to get it. And then he gets to the top of the RV where apparently Negan threw it up there. So that was like a test for Rick or something. And so Rick's just laying there, and he's having the memories, like the flashbacks of what happened. And you see from his first person, his POV, his perspective on Negan walking around, doing the eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And then he's like, and you are it. And it lands on, I'm sad to say this, it lands on Abraham. Now, at first I was kind of relieved because this other character I thought would be saved, but I was wrong. Anyways, so he's like, anybody moves, anybody says anything, cut the boy's other eye, I'm being to his father, and then we'll start. And then you see a zoom in on Abraham's face, he's just like, just sitting there like that. And I noticed that he did the peace thing, which, is what I guess him and Sasha did throughout the previous season. And everyone's all sad, and Sasha's beginning to cry, Rosia's getting all sad, Eugene, I think this hit him the hardest, because he's just all messed up. And he's like, and then Negan's like, hell, you'll all be doing that? And then he just slams the bat down, and you see it, and everyone's like, oh my god. Then you see him come back up, and you see the blood coming down his face. It didn't look as bad as I thought it would, but I'm in for it, man. What they show later. And then Abraham's last words, which was kind of funny, he said, suck my nuts. And then Negan just continued beating down him. Everyone's all sad, and it cuts to Rick on the RV, looking all sad like that. It's like a close up of his face, extreme close up. And he's all sad, and you see him continue hitting, and Negan stops, and he joked about what his last words were, and then he continued pounding it for a while, and then it shows the body of Abraham, and you see his head is like in bits and pieces of his head just splattered across the ground. It was pretty graphic, to be honest. I mean, and I hear people complain saying that the show was too graphic, it was too over the top with its gore and all, But to be fair, the show warns you twice for parental guidance before letting you on, because it had that viewer discretion shit twice before it actually showed it for each commercial. So you can't really blame them, because they did warn you like twice. So if you let your little kids watch it and now they're scared or some shit, then that's your fault. Anyways, so after that, he starts taunting the group with the bloody bat, and then he finds out, he's like, oh, he like, Teresia, were you two? And then he was joking about he's talking to her for a bit, and then he was saying how Abraham took 1/6% for her team, and then he's telling her to take a look, and he's yelling at her to take a look, and then Daryl's like, enough of this. He gets up and sucker punches Negan, and then he gets subdued, and then Negan's mad at him, and he puts him back in line, and then he gave another speech on how the first one was free because of the previous episode, Glenn made an outburst, and he's like, that one's free, and he's like, if that happened again, I would shut that shit down. So, and then after a bit more talking, he grips the bat, and he's like, back to it, and then he just slams it on Glenn, and I'm like, oh my goodness, because I didn't expect them to kill two main characters in the same episode. I was surprised. And then he hits him twice, and it was the most saddest, disgusting thing I've seen from a show, really. It shows Glenn's head all compressed in, you see the blood all over his face, you see his eyeball popped out, like one of his eyeballs, and he's all like that. I'm like, oh my god. And then Negan's like taunting him and all about how bad it is, and then Glenn's last words, he was looking at Maggie, he said, Maggie, I'll find you. It was so depressing. And then Negan was acting all like sincere, he's like, I'm sorry. And then he's like, I know this must be hard for you, but I did say no exceptions. And then he just hits him again, he continues pounding him in, and you see everyone's like surprised reaction. They're all like so shocked. Daryl must feel the worst. He was really depressed, and I feel bad. Like I know this is Daryl's fault technically for doing that, but you can tell he instantly regrets it, and I was gonna feel bad about that because he technically caused the death of Glenn, because it would have probably just been Abraham, but since he acted out like that, then he punished Glenn. But I feel bad for Daryl now, because he's gonna feel really guilty about that. So I'm still kind of mad at him for doing that, but he knows what he did was bad. So then it cuts back to normal, and then Rick, after getting the act back to Negan, they drive back to the site, and it's morning again, and he sees that Rick is still mad at him, so he tells all of his men to point guns to everyone that's still alive's head, and he tells them to bring Carl forward, and he wraps this thing around his arm, like to cut off the blood pressure. He puts him on the ground, and he asked his henchman, Simon, by the way, is Trevor from GTA 5. I thought that was pretty cool. And whatever. So, he hands him the pen. He draws the line on his arm, and Rick's like, please don't do it, because he knows that he's gonna probably get his arm cut off. And then Negan's like, me? I ain't doing that, or whatever. So he hands him the axe. He's like, okay, I want you to grab that axe and cut your son's arm off. And then after a while, Rick pleading for him not to do that, he could do his instead. He's like, no, it's gotta be this way. And then he's like, you want me to start counting? Okay, I'll count. And then he starts counting, and you see Rick is just bawling. He's crying. The actor did a really good job with his performance in this episode. Andrew Lincoln, he did a really good job. And that one scene was heartbreaking. He's getting ready to do it, and Carl's telling him, just do it. And as he's about to do it, he stops. And Negan was saying how he belongs to me, he's mine, they're all mine now. And then after him talking, after all that, he grabs Daryl, puts him in the back. He's like, I like him, he's mine now. And hostage, because if they try anything or do something against him, then he'll kill Daryl and send him back in pieces. And he said, or better yet, I'll bring him to you, and you're the one that'll cut him into pieces. And so after that, they all pack up and leave. But what got me mad is, like, it shows the slow-mo of everyone just walking away and leaving them there. They left him a truck so he could get back and to put the supplies in and stuff for each week when they come back. And what sucks is I saw this photographer guy taking a picture of Glenn's beat-up head which I thought was pretty messed up because earlier in the season when they raided that compound, Glenn was actually the one that saw the pictures of the beat heads. I guess that was supposed to be foreshadowing. After that, they all leave. You see Maggie's crying and all. They're all sad. And Maggie was saying how she'll go to the hilltop. Sasha's going to accompany her. They were going to take the Abraham and Glenn's bodies back with them. And they go their way. Everyone else goes back to Alexandria. And that was the end of the episode. And the end of the episode, it shows a extreme close-up of Rick, and he looks scared and sad and regretful. It's like the first look that we've really seen of him. He's been more determined, mad, full of power. Now he just feels lost and just depressed. It was this episode. So that's what happened in the episode. Now, I was pretty disappointed to see these two characters go. I was hoping that they would maybe try to do different characters because, in the comics, Abraham was already dead, so he was probably gonna die here because there was nothing really more they could do with him, and they were building it throughout the season. Now, I know a lot of people probably said this, but Glenn did die by Negan in the comics. I like how they did a twist though and made Abraham the one chosen, and then Glenn will be because of Daryl, so that gives that plot line, the reason for him to die, to go on throughout the season. Daryl could probably feel more guilty about it, so I think that was handled well. My only problem is, if they didn't tease his death earlier in season 6 when he fell in that Walker pit, then it would have probably been more impactful, but what can you do? So, now, the one thing that stood out with this episode that was really good was, no doubt, Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Negan. Every second this man is on screen, I am just into the show. He might actually get me back to where I actually tune in every weekend. Because I usually wait till the entire season's uploaded to Netflix before I would watch it. But his performance was fantastic. Every part. He can go from being laughing and just evil to just really aggressive and just awful. And he has an extremely bad sense of humor. It's so great to see his performance. I am just blown away. He did an excellent job in the role. Everyone not really everyone talked, So, for what it was, the acting was top notch. How it was filmed, it felt really different from the other episodes. It was filmed differently. And the very end, though, it was just differently. It was showing in, flashbacks and all. And that's why I could see why people were complaining, because of them dragging out the thing. But like I said, I thought it was alright. I thought it was supposed to be paying respect to each character, so I thought it was good. But what was really sad, what really was depressing, was at the very end, where they're all at the table, and they're all clean, they're all in clothes. Everyone's there that are still alive, including Glenn and Abraham. And you see Glenn's son is on his lap, and it looks like Sasha might be, I think, pregnant or something. They're all just happy around the table, and knowing that Glenn and Abraham won't be with them anymore because of Negan, that's really sad. But those are my thoughts on this episode. I thought it was, to be honest with you, I thought it was really good. Despite being incredibly shocking, depressing, gory, and just a little over the top, I thought it handled it really well than it could have. So I'm sad to see these two characters go, but that's what happens. Apparently not everyone is invincible unless you're Daryl, Michonne, Carl, or Rick. So those are my thoughts on the Season 7 premiere of AMC's The Walking Dead. Can't wait to see what else happens throughout this season. I probably won't review any other episodes or anything. This was just a special one because I've been waiting for a few months to see what would happen, and now seeing it, I was wanting to talk about it. So those are my thoughts on the episode. Let me know what you guys thought of the episode down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back next time with a new video. Bye-bye.